welcome to the Eyes on Coach podcast. I am DJ Montalbano, Coach DJ here. Great to have you guys with us today. Certainly a busy week coming into would be, I guess, the third week of September. Super busy with the young teams getting outside. We had week number 1 for our outdoor league for the U10 team that I'm working with. I know the other age groups in our club are also in the same outdoor league, and it's starting to be busy, right? So I think a lot of the school teams, the high school teams up here in the Northeast, are active. They've been active for over a month now at least. As school started, the high school, middle school, modified JV varsity teams have been busy. Single digits games have been taking place already. So things are getting crazy. And as a youth coach, I actually am working with a team that is inactive for the fall because the guys just hit the school season, and we actually decided to give these guys a break for a few months, mostly because they're all so busy and have been playing so much that as they transition into the modified and JV age group, they're just so busy, and I feel like they've been a little bit burnt out. So a season of focus for them, to concentrate on their school ball and any private training that they continue to do. It's interesting. I'm interested to see how this pans out, because at this age group, when they're turning 13, 14, 15 years old, their bodies are changing. We kind of left off with them at the end of our fall season saying, you guys, at this point it's more about establishing your fitness routines, establishing your diet, establishing your in growth physically as their bodies change. And it's interesting to see how they'll come back for the in a month or so. We'll get practices started for our indoor sessions, and it's going to be interesting to see how they've changed and how they have grown. This age group, I feel like they turn into men. So interesting. And the young guys, I'm also working with a U10 boys team, although we do have a few young ladies on the team as well. This select group of kids are super capable. This is the feeling where you've got a bunch of talented kids who are, for the most part, you could see a lot of them actually love the game, and they're at the age where as a coach, you're feeling like, my goodness, the talent is there and the ability to work with these kids is there. How much can they take? Right? How far can you get them to grow and experience the game, and try to continue to build on their love of the game? And it's just so exciting to see their careers are ahead of them, and the world is their oyster, so to speak. And they actually started off their season for the outdoor season this fall with 2 games back to back, a Friday and a Saturday morning, Friday evening and Saturday morning. Not going to be like that for the rest of the season, but just scheduling wise, it turned out that, getting the first game in happened to be on a Friday evening instead of a weekend, leaving the weekend open for the second game. And I think that worked out great for them because they kind of really gelled over the course of those 2 days. I feel like that's the kind of thing where they bring the culture of the team together. And they ended up coming out on top on both of the games. The first game, that match was essentially against a team that really is, the club that we played against. They're pushing their kids to be, in higher age groups. So you could see that those kids were not ready for this level. So that really wasn't a great test, but to kind of have the space and time to put things together and do things the way we've been teaching them. They had more time and space to make decisions. They had more time and space to execute. So I think that was helpful for them, because training sessions with drills and scrimmaging, small-sided games, it's hard for them to extract away from that environment and put that in a different environment, in a match, different field, different location, different day. These young minds, they were able to start to put those together, and it was a good warm-up, so to speak. But the second match on the weekend was actually a very good test for them, and ultimately they came out on top pretty big with a good win. But it's definitely a stronger test of their abilities, and we've got some things that we became much more apparent in that environment. So it's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about today was, depending upon the environment and the match situation that your players are in, it will yield different results in terms of what strengths and weaknesses that they have. So for example, you play your team against a lower ability team in a certain way. You find that everything is going their way, right? And it's sometimes, if you look closely, it's just because you're physically outmatching the other team. But it's that quality soccer. But if you look closely, maybe things are coming together, like I said, because they have more time and space to make decisions, or they have more time and space to control the ball and then make a pass, or they have a much greater ability to connect more than 2 passes because they have an opponent who might not be shutting that down. Turn around and you face a much more capable opponent, maybe much more athletic kids on the other team, and they are no longer able to connect more than 1 pass, or they're unable to get the shots off because they're taking too long to make the decisions, or they're not playing one play ahead because they're too focused on trying to catch up physically. So there are a lot of conditions that can yield I don't want to say failure, but things not going your way. And as a coach, and if you're looking closely, you start to see those things. They become a lot more apparent. So as a coach, you start to see those things and they become much more apparent. So it was a great weekend to call out that idea where we were able to start to see certain things that maybe we weren't thinking of. In our training sessions with this particular U10 group, we're focused on just executing the basics, right? So they're still young. We're still working on foot skills. We're still working on passes. We're still working on shape and positioning It's all just part of where they are at their age. It doesn't matter how good they are or whatever, they still need to work on these things. So I hope that's helpful for today. I'll leave it at that, but check me out on all the social media channels. Feel free to reach out and let me know how you what you think of all this, and I'll catch you next time. See you on the pitch, guys. Take care.